and welcome to another episode of Stirring Things Up. Today, one of my 65 subscribers asked me to create a unfortunately named dessert. This dessert that we're going to be making today is called Spotted Dick. I've never had this dessert before. I've heard of it, but obviously it's a very strange dessert, but we're going to try it today. The thing is, it contains raisins, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that most of them have raisins in. So I used to like raisins. I'm now on the point where I'm beginning to dislike them, but okay. So this dessert, the spotted part is the actual raisins, and then the other part is the actual pudding or dessert itself. Now, typically, this is made as a steamed pudding. So you put it in boiling water on the stove and you steam it. We're not going to do that. We are stirring things up. So I'm going to be doing this in an oven. And another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm not going to be making one specific pudding or dessert. I'm going to be making 4 little ones. I just feel like making 4 little ones is less ambitious than having one big one. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It starts off with, simply enough, taking 225 grams of self-raising flour, and I've just put a pinch of salt in here as well. Taking that and then blending it with 100 grams of cubed cold butter. So the reason that the butter is going to be cold is so that it's going to cover, or at least be coated by, every piece of flour. So we want it to be kind of like breadcrumbs. And what you would do is you would just simply kind of like squeeze the butter into the flour. And if the butter was too warm, it would then simply just melt because of the warmth of your hands. And then you would just have melted butter, and that wouldn't work out. So we actually want like breadcrumb consistency in our bowl. So I'm just lightly squeezing the butter into the flour. And I just want to tell you a story while we are doing this. So this spotted dick, it's actually a Victorian dessert, something like 200 years old. They like to use rhyming for names. So if your name was Richard, then your nickname would be Dick. So they did it because they liked the rhyming. So it went from Rick. It's just strange. So now that my butter and my flour are basically in breadcrumb consistency, it takes a while, but once you can see that there's not that much butter visible and it's more crumbage than anything else, then you know that you are on the right track. So now the next step is to take sugar. So I've got 75 grams of caster sugar here, which is going in as well. And then I need to add the horror of the show, which is 100 grams of raisins. So I'm adding them in as well. Now this will not become a dough unless I add some kind of liquid. And that liquid is going to be 125 mils of milk. So I'm going to be adding that in here. And then lastly, I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now all of that is going to be mixed. I don't think I should do it by hand. We'll see. I think I'm going to start off just mixing it with my spatula, and then we'll see what it looks like. As soon as it starts becoming a dough, I'm then going to go in with my hands. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so it's getting quite sticky now. And then as soon as it starts becoming quite sticky, then I don't even know if I'm doing it the right way, but we're living on the edge here. So I guess I can now go in and do it by hand. Not a great feeling, just being honest. It's not the greatest feeling, but here we are. And I'm just making sure that every part of the flour and the butter is mixed into my dough. Now it's going to become like a soft dough like this. And when it has done that, and obviously you've made sure that the bowl is clean, that everything is in here, then we're going to put that into our ramekins. Okay, so I've mixed all of the dough together. And as I said before, I want to put these into ramekins. Now, what I've done is I've generously buttered these ramekins, and I'm going to put the dough into these ramekins and then cover the ramekins in foil as tightly as I can. The reason is I want it still to do the steaming in the oven, and I'm also going to be adding boiling water to make like a bain-marie or a water bath for these to steam in, even though they're being steamed in the oven and not on the stove. So I'm going to get that dough into these ramekins, and then we can get to the oven. The oven has been set to 180 or 160 fan. Okay, so I filled these to about 2/3 of the way in the ramekins. Now I'm just going to, as I said, tightly cover these ramekins in foil for the steaming to happen in the oven. Right, so my little spotted Richards are in their foil, and now I'm just going to pour in from my recently boiled kettle. I'm going to pour in water, but I want the water to come to about halfway up the ramekins. That's going to help with the steaming. So I would suggest, based on the size of your dish, just to make sure that you've boiled a whole kettle of water, because I see I'm just going to make it right. Okay. And then this goes into the oven for about 45 minutes, and then we can see what they look like. So to the oven. Got to be super careful now, because this thing is boiling hot, and I don't want to mess in of the water, and I don't want to burn in the oven. So here we go. Okay, 45 minutes. Let's see what happens. Right, so my little spotted Richards are out of the oven, and they were quite hot, obviously. So I've just tried to take the foil off of this one a little bit, and I need to use a different plate to decant this little pudding, but they look really cute. They're really pretty. I know I keep saying that, but you know what I mean. They look really good. Okay, so I'm going to put this saucer or side plate over this and then just tip it. I'm assuming, I don't know, I've never done this before, so I'm assuming it will just come out, which it's not. I don't know what to do. So, I don't know if that's going to work. Right. Okay, I'm going to have to loosen this thing a little bit. So, let's use a knife or something to loosen it. Right. Managed to get it out. So it actually looks quite cute. I think it's steamed enough. I don't know, I've never really steamed anything, but I think it's steamed enough. It's still steaming. So, now to obviously the important part here, which is the taste test. Normally, traditionally, they would serve it with custard. I am not a custard person, so I'm going to have it with cream. So I don't think I'm going to eat this whole thing. So I'm just going to take a little piece here and then just put some cream on and then give it a taste. So let's see. So this cream luckily is also cold, so it will cool it down before we try. Okay, so this is too large a piece, so let's try that. Okay. It's strange. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try another piece because I don't know how to. It's like it's not very sweet, and it's kind of, I don't know. Maybe I used the wrong recipe, but it's kind of bland. Maybe that's why you need the custard to add a bit of something to it. So it's not horrific. It's just, to me, it kind of like looks the way it tastes. Don't know how else to say it, but that's how it is. So the whole point of doing this today was, I feel like sometimes we take ourselves too seriously and we are too strict on ourselves. So just have fun. Try something completely different. Just be yourself and don't take yourself so seriously. Here I am with my spotted Richard. Until next time, let's keep stirring things up.